Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of Omnifactory. My name is ZD Sauce, and today we're going to be working on trying to get PVC sheets all nicely automated. I don't think this should be too much more work than what we already have set up. I think getting this polyethylene set up was definitely the hardest part of that. Because that had to basically automate both all the way from biomass to ethanol to ethylene, and then also the sulfuric acid to get that ethylene. And PVC also uses ethylene. So we're trying to make this polyvinyl chloride liquid, and that comes from vinyl chloride, which is just ethylene and chlorine. So since we already have a decent amount of ethylene, all we essentially need to do is automate chlorine and then combine them in a chemical reactor, and that should yield us some polyvinyl chloride after we combine it with the oxygen we already have going on in here. So I think it shouldn't be too hard. And also, I have come to realize that this can all also be done with low voltage machines. I haven't seen anything that requires more than 30 EU a tick, unlike crafting the ethylene, which does require an advanced chemical reactor. So what my plan is to basically set up another line here for LV stuff once again. So this is really similar to what we have. We can just basically do a line of 4 machines once again, make it look all nice and pretty, and then hook up some power. Oops, not like that. Oh, there goes my pick. I have a backup one though. That is good. If we throw on a flux capacitor and then hook up some of this power, we should be inserting some stuff. So what we're going to need are 4 machines in total. First off, we're going to need another advanced fluid solidifier because we want to make the polyvinyl sheets. We might be able to kind of use both of these, but it's cheap enough to make. I think we should just make a new one, and obviously the basic version because we're on a basic line. And then we're going to need an electrolyzer, and we're going to be using this to make the chlorine. So we want to just input salt or rock salt. I think I'll go with salt, just because it takes slightly less time. And I don't know if getting potassium versus sodium matters much. Each is going to yield basically 500 millibuckets of salt per actual item we input. So we're going to have an ME export bus with salt into electrolyzer, so that'll yield chlorine, and then we'll have to pipe that into a mixture with ethylene in a chemical reactor to get the vinyl chloride, and then we'll pipe that vinyl chloride into another chemical reactor with the oxygen to get polyvinyl chloride, and then we'll just have to pipe that into a basic fluid solidifier and have our sheets. So yeah, I think this should be relatively doable. So we can start making some machines. So yeah, we're gonna need 4 in total, and they're gonna be all LV machines. So I did craft up some more wrought iron plates because we were getting kind of low on that. So we're gonna need 4 LV machine hulls in total. So let's get those. Hopefully I have enough stuff. I do. And then an electrolyzer. I think we should have everything for this, right? And then 2 of these chemical reactors. Ooh, we're missing tin rotors. Can we make these relatively easily? Yes, we can. What do I need? A hammer, file, and a screwdriver. Hopefully I have enough for 2. I do. That's awesome. So yeah, turn 2 of those into the basic chemical reactors, and then also get a fluid solidifier, which I don't think I have those pumps on me, do I? Did I lose my machine hull? There it is. Okay. So we need to make 2 of these pumps. So we are going to need more tin rotors. This is why you always make more than what you need. Okay. Shift clicking is how you should do everything in GregTech. Now I have 5. That's fantastic. Do I have any bronze piping? I could go for some more. Just need a few more plates and I can make another set of bronze piping. And then yeah, once we have these 4 machines, I'll also need to make an ME item export bus. And it's just so I can pipe in salt from my machine. But first, let's get some bronze pipes. Nope, that's the wrong order. And this should give us the think we should have everything, right? Screwdriver and wrench. Oops. Cool, we get 2 of those pipes, and that should be everything we need for our basic fluid solidifier. Cool. Now we're also going to need an ME export bus because we're going to need to export stuff from our system, and we're going to filter that on salt. Do I have stuff? I just need to get one of these, which I have everything for. So we got an ME export bus, and I think that should be pretty much everything. Let's make sure we have all the cablings we need. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. If we're missing something, I'm sure I will figure it out soon enough. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is make chlorine, which is the electrolyzer. So where would I put this ME export bus if I do this? I could probably just throw it in the back here, right? So let's do an ME export bus, filter it on salt. Oh, we actually need some salt. I actually don't know how much salt I've found. We have a little bit. That'll do for now, but I think salt is pretty cheap to get from actually buying it with Omnicoins. Oh yeah, it's very cheap, so I might just do that, at least for a bit. But yeah, so let's get salt into this machine. We're just going to need a cable, and then we can attach up the conduits. And I shouldn't have anything in here, right, because I don't have any salt in my system, but let me test this out by throwing some salt in here. And this is going to feel a lot similar to making the polyethylene. Yeah. Am I doing this wrong? ME export bus with salt getting piped into here. I bet it's because I have the that stupid output hatch is really bugging me. I feel like that keeps on messing me up. I'll just throw it on this side, why not? Now do we see, okay, so now we got salt getting input into here, and that should make just chlorine, and then also potassium dust. So with the potassium dust, we should import that back into our system as well. So I think we're actually going to need an ME import bus. But we're also going to want some way to... Hold on a second, I need to think about this. Stop. We're also going to want some way to pipe our stuff out. So this only has 2 sides available to it because it's right here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is actually move the electrolyzer to this side, just because that will give it 3 different sides where it can go on. So let me grab this. I don't want to waste my precious chlorine, though. Okay. If you couldn't tell, I'm kind of doing this on the fly as well. All right, so let's hook our ME export bus back up. Do this. Give me one of the cablings, and that should all be hooked up. Don't need this anymore. Okay, and now we should be able to throw our salt in. Cool, and then we can... Oh wait, that stupid thing is there again. Yeah, because we can't import where the export button is. Okay, and then we're going to throw in our fluid solidifier and then our 2 chemical reactors as well. So with this chlorine, we should be able to basically use our ender fluid conduits to pipe that accordingly. And let's pick a color we haven't used yet. Pink, sure. Extract always active on pink. So that'll take the chlorine that we get here and put that... I also want to make sure these aren't going to get random fluids and stuff in here. So we want to put that into a chemical reactor. I'll just use this one with... What's the other thing we need? The actual ethylene. Oh, so we should probably actually match the output color of ethylene and then do some kind of filtering. I feel like I'm getting all jumbled up. Let me take a second and get my thoughts together. Okay, so I made a few fluid filters, and then I also got this ME import bus that we're going to need here. So I'll pop that here, and we're going to want to, again, I don't think we need to filter, but just for the sake of completeness, we want to be taking out the sodium that we get from the salts here. And then if we take our cabling and also hook that up to the system, I think that should start pulling it out. Awesome, it is. And now we also need to work on piping our chlorine into a chemical reactor and combining that with ethylene to make this vinyl chloride. I've temporarily stopped, oops, probably shouldn't be clicking things around with my conduits. I've temporarily stopped inserting the ethylene into this chemical reactor that makes polyethylene, just because I want to get a bit of a buildup here, so that we can make a few sheets of vinyl chloride. Actually, I might keep it like that for a bit, just because we have such a backstuff of polyethylene as of right now. But yeah, anyway, so the ethylene is getting extracted on cyan. So basically, I want to insert this on cyan, but with a whitelist for the only two things that I need. So if I do this and say, yeah, insert on cyan, but put a filter on it for chlorine and ethylene. Oh, spelling is hard. Nope, ethylene. Like that, okay. Then, hopefully this should do what we want when it gets connected. If it doesn't, it might get kind of messy, so I hope I did this right. Oh, something else I want to do is we can actually complete the quest for chlorine. That should complete that. Nice. And then this is also going to extract on cyan. So this should be putting more chlorine into it. Yep, it is. And now when we connect up another fluid conduit to this output, I think that should also work. There we go. All right, so yeah, some ethylene got piped into this, and this is not extracting right now, but that should make vinyl chloride. Awesome. That's very good to see. Oh, we also get a, I forgot about this, a side product of hydrochloric acid. This could be used in a few ways, but as of right now, I think I'm just going to pipe this into my system, just because I don't have any immediate plans for it. We can, I don't think it's a good idea to void anything in this pack, just because there's so many liquids and there's so many uses for each liquid, it's hard to know what you're going to need. So I'll just keep that in my system for now. I will maybe pipe it off this way or something. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, now we have this vinyl chloride, and we're going to want to pipe that into our next chemical reactor. So I want to make another fluid filter here that takes in oxygen and vinyl chloride. Okay, this is getting a little bit complex. So where's our oxygen coming from? Right here, right? So the oxygen is also coming in cyan. So I think anything with cyan, we need fluid filters on because there's a lot of chemicals going around. So this, it needs oxygen, which that's this one, right? Yeah. And then vinyl chloride. And basically when I set the insert on this, it should just bring the vinyl chloride from here, because that's, oh, we also need to have this extract on cyan. It should bring the vinyl chloride from here, and then the oxygen from here, and since it's all whitelisted properly, I think that should work. And then let's insert this. Okay, that is what I wanted, but for some reason it's not... Oh, okay, I need a program circuit too. I was like, oh no, do I actually need an advanced chemical reactor? But nope, we're good. Okay, let me just grab a circuit. Not a processor. And now it's just programmed at 0. And this should start making, awesome, yeah. So this should start making the polyvinyl chloride that we want. Cool, and then all we should have to do from that point is just feed this directly into our fluid solidifier with another mold for plates. That's awesome. And then what we're also going to want to do is make another fluid import bus, filter that on hydrochloric acid, and then bring that into our system. So let me make another fluid import bus, and then also another mold, and be right back. All right, coming back with some goodies. So I'll put the mold in here, and then we're just going to need to extract this on a color we haven't used yet. So I'll use pink for this. Really hope that's not used yet. It's not going anywhere? Good, it's not. And then insert this on pink. And yeah, we should be getting a bunch of polyvinyl chloride sheets. That's great. Oh, we're going to need another export bus. There's so many more buses that we need that I keep forgetting about. But before we forget to do this one, we also want to make sure we are putting our hydrochloric acid back in here. Hydrochloric spelling. Oh, do we need an actual bucket of that? I think we do. So I can just grab a bucket of that. And then if I do this, okay. And now if so it's filtering on hydrochloric acid, which is what we have here. So now if I hook this up to this system, we should see that go away. So we don't want to get backstuffed on that. And off she goes. And we already have a full stack of chlorine in here as well. I did buy a bunch of salt with Omnicoins and just got this going, and this should backstuff soon enough. Chlorine is going to be used a good amount in the future, so it can't hurt to make a good amount. But yeah, look at our polyvinyl chloride sheets. That's fantastic. I'll take some of them, because that should complete the quest. There we go. And I'm going to make another import bus. Can I make that quickly? I'm probably missing something. An ME import bus. I think I need more annihilation cores. Yeah, I gotta make some stuff. Be right back. Okay, should be all set once again. And this should be the last thing we have to do. We just want to... Is the ceiling not high enough to hold me? That's okay. We just want to take these polyvinyl sheets that we're making and then import them into the system. So, is that all we need? Is this taking them out? Awesome. And then we're getting more and more, and it's just making more sheets. This is great. So yeah, basically, when I feel like I have an adequate amount of polyvinyl chloride sheets, I am just going to turn the insert back on here. And then since it's round robin enabled for extracting the ethylene, it should just split up the ethylene between these two and then kind of make a bit of polyethylene and vinyl chloride sheets going forward. But as of right now, I'd consider this a finished build for sure. It's relatively clean, as clean as it can be, I guess. But I kind of like how it's the 3 rows of machines, each with their separate kind of lines. We got an LV line, an MV line, and another LV line. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I'd say that is complete. We should have a decent chunk of polyvinyl chloride sheets in our system now. If we look that up, yeah, we got 40. And this number is definitely going to go up. And then, yeah, we should not see this polyethylene sheet number go up, but that's okay, because nearly 700 is a good amount. Cool. Yeah, so we can claim the rewards for this. So these are really nice to use, and we'll see why relatively shortly. But basically, what I'm trying to get to are these plastic substrates, because we can use these to make the next tier of circuits. So let me go into JEI here. And so we can use polyethylene and get one per, but if we use polyvinyl, we should be getting 2 plastic circuit boards per craft. Now, either are pretty fine, but I mean, you might as well use the more efficient one. And then there's also this, I'm not going to try to pronounce that word, but that gets 4 per. I don't really know how to make this. I'm not going to try to worry about it as of right now. So that's really nice to get. And these are used to make... yeah, these refined circuits. So the third and final tier 1 circuit, I think I've looked at these on camera before, but yeah, that is going to be the most efficient way to get those tier 1 circuits, which are obviously used a lot. We can also make these SMD capacitors now. So why don't I go ahead and actually make some of those now? Because that will be all of our SMD components if I do that. So let me make like 16 of them. Or I'll just make, or I'll get some cooking. But yeah, this should get us a stack of the foil. Oh wait, they're already sheets. I'll just do half a stack for now. And then the other thing we were going to need is aluminum foil. So we're just going to need a bit of that. All right, I should have sheets made already. Yep. Cool. Now let's just finish up, and then yeah, we'll just get 32 of these, and then 8 of these. Oh, we're gonna need a bit of polyethylene, and then so it's gonna be what, 8 crafts in total. So that should be, if my math is right, 2 polyethylene sheets that we need to turn into liquid as well. Hopefully that's right. Let me grab those and throw that into our fluid extractor. And then, yeah, so we got our assembling machine. And let's see if this, oh wait, actually it needs the better tier of assembling machine as well. Nice, we are making our SMD capacitors. So yeah, this should get us a few stacks of these. These are another component that are used a good amount. I'm not really sure exactly what they're used for, but yeah, now we have this bottom quest line complete with all these capacitors, or all these SMD, I don't know what SMD stands for. But yeah, this is definitely the hardest one to make because we need polyvinyl chloride, and that's a relatively complex liquid to build. But yeah, so now we opened up the plastic substrate quest line, and that's going to lead to those third tier 1 circuits I was talking about. So I think we could probably go ahead and prep to get some of these rocking. I don't see why not. Yeah, and we got a bunch of plastic or SMD capacitors to put in the bank. So I'll just make a few of these for now. Maybe let's do like 16 crafts. We can just grab a couple buckets of sulfuric acid. So 125 times 8, so 2 buckets will get us 16 crafts of these. Doing quick math, hopefully I'm not messing that up. And then we needed copper foil, right? So we need 16 copper foil, 16 of these new sheets that we got, which is perfect. That's half of those. And then 2 buckets of sulfuric acid, which I can just grab from downstairs. So let me get the copper plate foil going first. And where can I snag sulfuric acid from? You will do. Oh, this is full of hydrochloric acid. I didn't even realize. That was a sneaky color of the liquid. Let me just put that in our system really quick. And now I will take it, I'm going to take it from here because I want it to get through the diluted stuff, and it seems like it's backstuffing a little bit. Okay, so now we should have our foil, and does this need a specialist chemical reactor? Nope, I can use the basic one, which is right here. So if I do 16 of this, and then a couple buckets, yeah, that should get us 32 of these plastic circuit boards. That's great, and I'm definitely going to make more than that in the future. I can just do that off camera, but I want to make our first one together, just because why not? And then with that, yeah, we should be able to get these the third and final tier 1 circuits. And I want to get that because then I can make the tier 3 circuits a little bit cheaper, and then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable making a bunch of blank patterns. And see, these use tier 3 circuits. I'll feel more comfortable making a bunch of blank patterns and setting up some automation, which maybe I'll do that next episode. I haven't thought ahead that far yet. But yeah, this is going to bring us down the line for the next tiers of circuits. Cool. So yeah, now that we got SMD components, and now that we got those plastic boards, yeah, let's work on making these refined circuits. So yeah, we might as well use these new SMD components that we got, and then we need some tin alloy wire, and then some CPUs as well. Let me prep some of this stuff. Alright, so it turns out that our central processing unit is actually something we haven't made yet. We need to make the CPU wafers, which requires the glass lens, and then you just, like the other ones, we just put it through an advanced cutting machine and get it that way. So yeah, just a wafer with the glass lens is going to get you the CPU wafer, and then, yeah. So easy enough, of course. It just takes a little bit of time, so I decided to get that going off camera before I came back. But yeah, so I'm going to try to make a half stack of these. So we have 8 of these, 32 of these. We're just going to need a little bit of soldering alloy, and then we also need some fine tin alloy wire. I guess we don't have tin alloy wire yet. I don't have any tin alloy. It's soldering alloy. So tin alloy, what's that? Just tin and iron, right? Yeah. Oh, I thought I made a bunch of that, but I guess I did not. Again, another reason why we want to get automation set up. So my idea is to basically go upstairs, and in this whole line of ME conduiting, we want to have a bunch of interfaces that we can use, and then they're all going to have crafting cards and then basically store a set amount of stuff. So for example, we would have an interface with an MV compressor on top of it, and then a bunch of patterns that would hold like aluminum plates, wrought iron plates, all the commonly used ones, and then we can also keep some stuff in stock using that same interface. I think that should work. I actually haven't done that yet, but yeah, I think that should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna make some of these into fine, what is it? So we're gonna need 16 in total, so it'll be 2 of these. These are taking a bit of time. I'll do a quick cut. That was actually the quickest cut in the West because I didn't realize that. I think we might have seen it right before I did cut away. But the tin alloys actually, in the wire mill, they go right into the fine tin alloy. There's no single wired version of them. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, then we just need to get some fluid soldering alloy. And this does require the MV assembler. So let's go over to that and throw in everything we need. That should be enough to get us 32 circuits, and if we just grab our soldering alloy, that should do it, right? Awesome. So this is definitely a good feeling because it feels like we could make 1,000 of these and we wouldn't be wasting resources, because these are the most efficient tier 1 circuit that you can make. There is a way we could possibly be slightly more efficient using these SoC chips, but that's, oh yeah, it's gonna get kind of crazy if we're doing that. We're pretty far away off from having this much power, I think. So, yeah, I wouldn't feel bad just making like stacks and stacks and stacks of these refined circuits. But yeah, that's awesome. So this should complete the quest. Nice, the 3rd and final tier 1 circuit. That is great. And this is now opening up the quest line for the basically the processor version of this, and then also the processor array version of this. So they're exactly the same as the electronic versions, but since we make 4 at a time per recipe, this is definitely a better one to do. So yeah, I want to basically make the processor and the processor array now, and then use these processor arrays I made into making these auto crafting patterns. But I think I'm gonna save that for next episode. And then when we make those auto crafting patterns, we can set up some stuff upstairs so that we don't have to keep on making more plates and wires and all that junk. But yeah, I feel happy with what we did today. We set up our polyvinyl chloride automation, and then also made our efficient tier 1 circuits. So thank you very much for watching today. Yeah, next episode I'm really excited too, because we're going to be doing some automation up on that 2nd floor there. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. So I will see you on the next one.